Flip the switch. That's right. Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Yuengling. America's oldest brewery has just hit the airwaves, and another Cubs W that always has a fantastic ring to it. High atop that Wrigley scoreboard, the W flag. It is a flying on an absolutely lovely Memorial Day. The Cubs 6-1 over their last 7 at the friendly confines. Some home cooking, and that never hurts. And with that said, these folks, well, they'll be cooking at the house once they finally do get around to getting home. But either way, right now, they're all about celebrating that 2-run victory over those Colorado Rockies. 3-1, the final tally at Wrigley Field. And with that said, pull up a chair. This is Cubs Postgame Live. As we told you, we're presented by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. I'm Cole Wright. That's Elise Menaker, Ryan Sweeney, also in attendance. And this was a big one. The Cubs, over their last 13 at Wrigley Field, 10-3. And right now, they're not showing any signs of slowing down.
Yeah, well, just whatever it takes to get the win, right? They're all not going to look the same, but the offense showed up just enough today. Good pitching. Let's give a shout out to Taillon and the bullpen for another scoreless outing for the Pen.
Did the Cubbies just find their new closer?
I think so.
He's been creeping in like that.
Third of the year. I mean, we were talking off air. Like, you want your closer to be pumping 100, and that's exactly what he did. Painting.
Yeah, full count, last pitch of the game. Daniel Palencia out there on the slab. We said, I'm going to challenge that guy with 100 miles an hour worth of gas. When Marquee starts playing Go Cubs Go, that's right. A lot of thug sweat rolling around, some non-dry eyes. Yep, that's exactly how 6 Point Sports is feeling about it right about now, and maybe they're feeling fantastic about the afternoon that we saw from Matty Ice. That's right. He had 2 runs scored. The defense, it was impeccable. So here he is, Mr. Shawsome with Taylor McGregor.
Thank you. Wrigley Field, what does this place mean to you?
It's amazing. What an amazing crowd today. Just a great game for the boys. Taillon came out throwing really good, so this is awesome.
Wind blowing in, so runs were limited, a couple walks for you. What was your approach in those at-bats?
Yeah, I mean, just trying to stay consistent. You know, you can't really do much about the wind. Pete hit an amazing ball. We crushed some balls today that didn't go our way. But you got to just keep grinding through at-bats. That's what we did.
You mentioned Jameson Taillon. We saw him get fired up a couple times in that game. What does that do for you as a teammate?
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, he pitched unbelievable. I mean, I think everybody felt it and saw it today. He had an amazing day.
Thank you, Matt. Cool?
T-Mac, Matt Shaw, good stuff. And as we said, the Cubs 10-3 over their last 13 and 6-1 over their last 7 at the Federal Landmark. And today, it was all about a complete team effort. We saw Matt Shaw. He was able to cross home plate, but he also was able to flash a little bit of leather.
Yeah, he's looked really good over at third base.
Really
He's getting called up. It was all about the bat, right? Offensively, trying to come along. But this is now who Matt Shaw is at the hot corner. Great play, really hard throw across the body. This was similar, I was saying, almost the exact same play from Cincinnati, but he stayed on his feet today, and so made it look even a little easier. How about that snag? I mean, just really good hand-to-eye coordination, timing, everything you need over there. There's also a calmness about him that even when the game can speed up on you and a ball's coming at you like that, he doesn't panic and is making good plays.
And as someone who patrolled the hot corner once upon a time, how much easier does it make it to hit for you when you're able to do what you need to do on defense?
Yeah, it's almost like the defense became the stability factor for Matt Shaw because he had played it all of last season, so he felt going into this year he was actually in a really good place defensively. Then it became, my offense, I haven't really experienced this before, that's kind of struggling, so he could kind of put the defense aside, trust that, worked on the offense, and now we're getting more of the full package at the big league level.
And to see Matt Shaw be one of the catalysts to this offense, he's able to help turn that lineup over. When the Cubs are playing small ball, you know he's going to be able to put his fingerprints on it.
Well, with the defense, we see the footwork and we see the arm strength, and then that's carrying over to confidence in the box. So I think when you look at it, I mean, look, Taillon had a perfect game going through the first 14 batters of the game, and a lot of that reason was because of Shaw's plays. But it was a small ball here in the 5th inning. You saw it was the walk, and then it was the bunt, and then it was Tucker, who had 2 RBIs today, who's just solid, getting the base hit and then getting the sac fly here. So all around, just you play a little bit of the small ball today. They average almost 6 runs a game, or I should say they do average 6 runs a game, but today it was nice to see them win in those close ball games. When it's 3-1, they can still pull it off.
Yeah,
as we said, the 4th win of the season, scoring 3 or fewer runs. But today, it was situational baseball on full display, wasn't it, Elise?
Yeah, we were just seeing some of the highlights there, and we were even talking about it before the game, where if this team, they just continue to put the ball in play, not even a ton of hits today, but you get guys on, you force the defense to do something. We saw kind of some of the sloppiness from the Rockies, and if that's what you're going to get and that's what you're going to take to win, then so be it.
Well, we heard JD on the broadcast, like, hey, you need to figure out a different way to manufacture some some runs because the wind was blowing in. We saw just a couple times where
PCA
just
missed
PCA
it.
missing the homer.
I almost hit on our same game parlay, almost.
And a couple where
I almost hit 2. Does that count?
almost isn't good enough.
It doesn't count. Unfortunately,
you
it
hit,
doesn't
so
count.
you don't count.
But
Prince of parlays.
But yeah, just Tucker missed the fly ball to the left, and then Turner missed a couple of pop flies that were just, it looked like he got him, but the wind was blowing in. So you have to figure out different ways to manufacture runs. So it just shows that this team can win not by only hitting the 3-run homer, but they can get a guy over and get a guy in.
I feel like that's been consistent throughout the entire season because there's some games where it is like this. Sometimes it's the long ball. We've talked about the base running. So whatever it is, they're just trying to score more than the other team, plain and simple.
Yeah, multifaceted ball club. That's what this team is right about now. In years past, these are the games where they would give away in the last final few innings. But this season, not so much. They have an ironclad attack and approach, and they're able to implement that each and every single day. And Jameson Taillon, we said we need to see him go deep in this ball game, and he did. 82 pitches, 6 1/3, 4 hits, and 0 free passes. That was paramount.
This is probably one of the cleanest, sharpest games we've seen from Jameson Taillon. So he's just using all of his pitches. We've talked about him throwing first pitch strikes and attacking. He's getting 5 whiffs on the sweeper in this game. And so you pair that with his other pitches. I love that pitch, the way it starts almost out of the zone and finishes out of the zone. You're not really going to touch that one. Then he goes in with the 4-seamer. These are pretty much right there for a hitter, but the Rockies cannot connect on it because they're trying to take into account everything and protect the plate. One of the pitches, especially as a lefty, that you're trying to watch out for is changeup. The new kick change, he's using it more. It looks really good. Just look at the arm side fade, and that's really tough to hit. And so if he's starting to mix in all of these pitches, and by the way, this one here, that's a changeup. You get the lefty to roll over it. Nico really heads up play. Stallings not able to score, and so you save a run there. And then you're getting yourself out of the jam. How often do we see that out of JMO? The emotion.
Love it, right?
Who cares who it is? It's the Rockies, you're in jam, it's a close ball game. I love it. So this is awesome to see. He's pumped up and just a really good outing. You mentioned threw 4 perfect game and had 1 mistake on the change. But
It's like Aladdin out there today. See,
Jameson
phenomenal
Taillon,
cosmic
baby.
powers. Jameson Taillon getting after it. The check, feeling pretty good about what JMO brings to the table, and he was feeling fantastic as well. 7 punch-outs, 0 free passes. That kick change had the Rockies kicking themselves walking back to the dugout. So for more on JMO and his outing, let's turn to the skipper. Hey, Craig, how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, just did a good job. Kind of what he's good at is just attacking the strike zone and filling up the strike zone, getting ahead with quality pitches because they're going to be aggressive. So we got some early contact and some weak contact, and pitched well.
I guess when Jesse asked you about with this conversation with Turner before the game, that this team can win in so many different ways. Today was pitching and defense.
Yeah, we executed offensively. It was we didn't have our best day swinging the bats. It was a tough day with the wind for sure, but we executed offensively. We got a runner in from third, less than 2 outs. We got a bunt down. So took advantage of a defensive mistake. And then we pitched great, absolutely, and mainly filled up the strike zone on a day that's really important to do. You win in different ways.
Thanks, Greg.
Short, sweet, and to the point. That's what Craig is all about. He's got to go home and hit a barbecue after a 2-run victory over the Colorado Rockies. The Cubs, they keep it rolling. The W flag is flying, and right around the corner, we're showing you highlights. Moving pictures. That's next right here on Cubs Postgame Live.